Mama Max, you've probably heard of him. Real deep voice guy, Max Stryker. I don't know if that's his actual last name, but he used to be a highly respected advocate and activist for people on the internet who were at risk of harm. Children, young people who were at risk of harm from evil people online. A lot of PDF files out there, seems like. And Mr. Max had a very unique style of editing. It was fanciful. It captivated the eye. It was imaginative. It was unique. He had a very deep corp husband-esque like VoIP, and his videos felt like ARGs. They felt reminiscent of potentially Petscop, something along those lines, where you feel like you're solving a puzzle. You're getting into something and you're like, oh, there's more to this. There's more than meets the eye. This is a narrative. I can get active. I can be involved, etc. But the puzzle would expose predators and actually get, there would be positive real world consequences to this thing. These videos were packaged up like creepypastas and clickbaited with strange, distorted, dumb. I mean, what the f is even going on? What is this one? I think this is Chineseist.exe. What the f does that even mean? There was a point in which Max was basically beyond criticism. He spearheaded a cause that nobody disagreed with. The only people who disagreed with it are people who are not good people, to be honest. Who the f wouldn't want kids protected? It's a very easy I'm on the side of, yeah, no shit. What the f? Who doesn't want to see predators get caught and face justice for their actions? Literally nobody would ever argue with that, ever, in the world, ever, of all time. And in the comments of Max's videos, he was lauded as a hero and praised for his efforts. The guy is a total legend. Many abuse survivors telling their stories from his comment section, you could see it. There was even one point where he led a charge against YouTube as a platform for their alleged protection of abusive material. There was a pick a side YouTube thing that trended for a while and a bunch of creators were on board. He was even on the Some Ordinary podcast, I think twice. I'm not sure, maybe once. I'm not sure. I became acquainted with him there, but very interesting. Mama Max, though, not just a YouTuber, also a filmmaker dedicated to empowering children. And he fell off a little bit. He bit off a little bit more than he could chew when he attempted to expose a werewolf vampire sex cult leader. And it was just strictly witness testimony with not a single shred of any evidence whatsoever, or not even a shred of the existence of the claimed person. There was one insanely cringe video of the supposed cult leader showing off their fangs that he was talking about and just saying, also at this time, it came out that Mama Max had allegedly faked or staged elements of his videos for entertainment purposes, literal entertainment purposes, and he would later even admit that.
While the narratives were crafted in fiction, the predator and the pursuit was very much a reality.
No longer became an allegation. He admitted it. To his knowledge, none of the targets of his videos had ever been arrested, despite claiming to Nicholas Dorio that there had been an arrest as a direct result of one of his videos. So,
and inside this call, he actually claims that he doesn't know if anybody has been arrested.
Have you ever gotten someone arrested?
If I have, then I don't know it.
Nobody had ever been arrested. He's jacking off into the wind, literally. He's not doing any good at all. He's advocating for groups, but like at the same time, bro, what is the point? What is the point of advocating for? It's like the Just Stop Oil stuff. When you throw dirt on a prize painting, no, you're not advocating for anything. You're just a fucking idiot. You're just a fucking dumbass, to be honest. Max started a new thing with this whole vampire werewolf sex cult leader, and he wanted commentary channels to make videos on him and on this thing, and he got his wish, and people made videos about what a fraud he seemed to be, and that he's a massive narcissist who is kind of, stroking his own ego rather than supporting an investigation. He's more concerned with his ego being stroked than actually getting support into an investigation of a werewolf cult or whatever the f. Seemed like he sort of saw himself as all-powerful. He tried to cancel Critical.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you, and I choose not to. It's true, though.
And he acted like it was a benevolent act to not cancel him until he did. And it went really, really, really bad, guys. Very, very, very bad. He's a massive hypocrite. He wanted the commentary community on his side, and then he went out of his way illogically to make them his enemy. I guess because he thinks that he's just like a god of some kind. I really don't know. You see, he was very jealous of all the coverage of Sniper Wolf, the coverage of her that she was getting for doxing Jack's films last year, and all sorts of dumbass shit. Also, there was a threat to sue my friend Mudahar for $1 million over supposedly breaking an NDA. And then we had this classic message on his Discord server, MamaMax's Discord server, that was leaked.
Spencer and I are considering a class action lawsuit against Mudahar for breaching our non-disclosure agreement, inciting harassment on live streams, defamation, and causing emotional distress. He's extremely rich, so the lawsuit seeks $1 million in damages to be distributed through all of you. All of you would have to do to testify against him, particularly regarding his action. Now, speaking to him about the evidence, Spencer has agreed to be the lead plaintiff, and I'll do all the hard work.
That was him. That was my impression of him. And then people were just like, please stop. Because Muda's a good guy and does more good for a lot of victims than this clown. Just because you got a cult of people who are really gullible and want help doesn't mean you're a good guy necessarily when you got your own little small cult and you think you can have a class action lawsuit. And I don't know, this seems fucking dumb though. He also used fucking ChatGPT to write an NDA and uses ChatGPT on a regular basis to understand how the law works. Not a lawyer, but ChatGPT. ChatGPT passed the bar. ChatGPT passed the bar.
Look at what I just sent you.
Yeah, you sent me a ChatGPT prompt, not a legal definition.
I mean, we can argue legal semantics all we want.
No, we're not arguing semantics. We have to look at exact definition, Max. This is the problem with this situation. You're going in with evidence that can't be 100% corroborated. You're going in with allegations as an evidence. Courts would laugh you out.
Are we talking to your lawyer, ChatGPT?
Yeah, is this the lawyer? Like, dude, right here, bro. Come on, you can't. You know, if I make a video on this, this is what I have to work with. How do you honestly think I?
All right. Okay. Interesting. MamaMax, not good at taking criticism, to be honest. Not very good at taking criticism, and that's pretty bad. It's a tough pill to swallow when people criticize you and don't like the things you're doing, and then they have valid criticisms against you, and you're just like, no, I don't. Make sure you have real evidence beyond just a bunch of witness testimonies. It would be good to be able to corroborate allegations of people. I mean, this is a common thing with all YouTube drama. There very rarely is genuine evidence, unless there is, and then it's pretty clear, and then it's pretty obvious. But like sometimes we don't have a lot of evidence, and it's just like testimony. People get crazy. And it's like, well, it's really entertaining. Okay. Also, with something as serious as a cult that involves abuse of childs, that's crazy. Involve law enforcement. YouTube is not going to involve the police. Talk to the police. Don't make a film. You're not going to do any good. Please go don't make a film. Make a film and also involve police. He believed that me, all of my friends, everyone who was critical of him was just slandering him. And this is the guy making uncorroborated, completely unsubstantiated claims about a guy leading a werewolf vampire sex cult without any sort of hard evidence other than just testimony. His credibility, in all honesty, was destroyed. By the way, testimony is a form of evidence, right? But it's just testimony. Like it's the small, it's just someone saying something. And anyways, I don't need to fucking explain that. I'm no ChatGPT, all right? People now became aware of MamaMax as being the guy who made these videos for attention, to morally grandstand and not actually do anything, which led to his untimely demise. He posted on Patreon earlier this year and a while after all the negative videos came out, saying that everything was a defamation campaign against him and that he was going to need to find a local job because of how crippled his channel had become. He would need to get a job because in order to continue working on his Camden Gerard Davis documentary in his free time, influencers crushed him. Now he needs to get a job locally. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So ironically, the guy who'd built a career as the pedo hunter but also had faked a lot of his videos, was calling out people now for being liars for the crime of just thinking he's not right and that we're disagreeing with him.
Silence all survivors.
No, bro, don't silence survivors. So after that bit of context, he recently made a video called Speaking Up, and it's been a while. Maybe he's taken this free time to improve himself, to kind of come back and screw his head on back a little bit straight and kind of get back in the saddle of maybe doing things honestly and getting people arrested for their crimes, etc., etc., etc. Right, guys? Maybe he's ready to take some accountability. I mean, he's still advocating for victims. That's awesome. That's really good. Maybe he can change. His newest video is 4 minutes long. Should be concise and to the point. But early in the video, we learned that he has learned nothing at all. He has absolutely learned nothing, even remotely. He's the old man from that episode of SpongeBob where he is taught the lesson multiple times and he doesn't exactly remember the lesson.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? I love the young people.
Firstly, though, he does acknowledge that this will be poorly received, but he does so in a facetious and cheeky way by editing booing sounds and a tomato being thrown because he's a martyr. He's the guy who everybody hates because he's speaking the truth or whatever. These criticisms, they're trivial. All right, guys. He announced that he has a lot to share over the future uploads that are going to go on his channel. And hopefully those channels are maybe responses to criticism in regard to his investigation of Camden Gerard Davis, whoever the fuck that guy is, the vampire sex cult guy. Maybe they'll include some evidence. I'm not sure. Nope, actually not. He said it may be decades before the truth about this comes to light. So
it may be decades before the truth around this case comes to light.
Wow, that's crazy. Decades, eh? Isn't there like a statute of limitations and stuff? I mean, like, what's the point of this then? At this point, what the fuck? What are we even doing? What is happening right now? I'm so confused. Who? What's going on? What did he do? Are you sure? Do you actually know? Like, what's going on? Just no evidence at all? Like, you can't even find any, you can't even Google it. It doesn't exist online. And it's not like a Dr. Disrespect or a Cody Co or like a Mr. Beast where there's like a bunch of people, it's like a thing that people are talking about. And there's like a lot, this is just a thing. It's like an ARG. It's like Petscop. It really is. It's so weird. Max says that he wants to start uploading again, which I guess that means he hated the honest work of the average person and he found no glory in it.
And the survivors will speak up when they are ready. But I would like to start uploading again.
So now he wants to try and salvage his creator stardom. My advice would be take some of the criticism to heart and admit that you were maybe wrong at some point. And, because everyone wants you to succeed. Everyone wants to support advocates for things like this. But being a weird narcissist, nobody wants to support that. And then when you combine that with just like the Messiah complex and the moral grandstanding, it's unbecoming, my mom would say. My mom would say, that's fairly unbecoming behavior. But no, guys, he talks about mass psychosis. He says it's very real, and he implies that everything that is said negatively about him is a result of mass psychosis.
Now, you've probably heard a lot of different things about me. Distinguishing between what's real and what's not is a challenge in the year 2024. And it's probably only going to get harder as time goes on. Mass psychosis is very real. And I'm sure you all can pretty much feel it at this point.
Which is fucking awesome. I mean, this guy, psychosis is real. Mass psychosis, I don't know about that. I mean, it definitely is for sure. Psyops. Mass psychosis, there's like a very clear advanced form of psychosis, just a single form in this video we're watching right now. He claims that his absence over the last few months was not an admission of guilt, but an attempt to respect the wishes of the survivors he was championing.
Now, people have taken my silence as an admission of guilt. That is not the case. I was simply respecting the wishes of those I was advocating for.
The survivors we could see were turning on him in the earlier, we saw the $1 million defamation lawsuit, and one of his survivors said, dude, can this please stop? Because he was bungling all this up, and they just wanted to see justice, and he's not the right guy to do that. He then goes on to say that he's not the monster that he's been painted as online. He doesn't care about doing this for money or clout or anything because he's lost it all, but he still does the work, guys. It's not about the money or the clout or anything like this. He's the modern day Joan of Arc. He's the ultimate martyr.
I don't care who says I'm doing this for money or clout. I have lost that, and I'm still doing this work. Because it truly matters, because it is very important work.
Then he says,
we need to refocus our conversations on global threats facing future generations.
We need to refocus our conversations on future generations that are facing multiple global threats.
So don't talk about me anymore. Let's talk about something else. No accountability whatsoever. I mean, this is like the most hilarious, deflecting, this is the worst apology video that has ever existed. The mass psychosis thing is just fucking great. That's such a great thing to say, you know, just deflecting. Mass psychosis. Everyone who's critical of him is suffering from a mass psychosis. We're all in Camden Gerard Davis's pocket. He's paid us, guys. That's true. That's true. That's the truth of all this. Is we are massively psychotic. Then he says the only good thing in this entire video, and that is that victims or parents of victims should call the police when they experience harm, which is true. And that is the first thing that should happen. Absolutely. Or do your best to start going down that path of getting professional assistance. I mean, that's obvious. YouTube's not the right place to do this. Discord servers, that's not the right place.
So yes, absolutely call the police when you have been harmed or your children have been harmed.
But this, of course, preceded some more programming and more narcissism, obviously.
Together, we can rebuild infrastructure and handle these cases, and hopefully one day we can prevent crimes against children.
Dude, people are pieces of shit. I don't think you're going to be able to do that, to be honest. But, you know, if we leave it to the police, I think they'll probably have a better incarceration rate to get these people actually off the street. Because so far, it's 0 for this guy. 0. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. He does some fear mongering. It's awesome. He's got some really edgy edits. Everything is doomed unless we rise and stand by his sides.
Because a lot of kids can't fight. They don't even know where to begin. They probably don't even know that a crime is being committed against them most times.
And after that short little video, I've got a lot of fucking concerns. How are we supposed to believe anything this fucking guy says in the future? He's admitted to crafting fiction in the past and still refuses to provide any evidence to support himself and refuses to acknowledge any form of criticism whatsoever. And then he says it could take decades for more information to come out against Camden Gerard Davis. He's asking us to withhold judgment for them and take him at his word. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. This is insane. This is fucking insane. Also, the mass psychosis thing, I mean, that's just really weird. He's a true grifter. This is the most bizarre narcissist thing I've seen in a really long time. I don't know what his motives are. I don't know if in his mind he really is just so hyper-focused. He's fucking locked in and he's just focused on that bag and he can't, and the bag is helping people, but it's not actually helping people. It's feeling like he's helping people. That's what his bag is. That's what he's focused. That's what he's locked in on. Using the artistic and sensational messaging to dramatize serious situations further, rather than addressing things that are perfectly reasonable and rational, and then spiraling into cult-like programming behavior and being a massive narcissist doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I want to know what you guys think. Thank you. Anyways, go watch Mudahar's video. They talked. It's really weird. It's awesome.